Panthers parade, I mean, it was an all-timer of a great day. It was an all-timer of a celebration. It was certainly worthy of what the Panthers delivered hockey-wise, not just this season, last season, and the season before, and really the season before that. But it was a great celebration. It falls right into the narrative we've been talking about, Crowder, of this team parties and is part of the community as much as the community parties around the team and supports the team. The team really does seem to support the community right back. So if you were there yesterday, you got this feeling of like, yeah, wow, these guys appreciate me and they're partying with me. It was a really cool event.
Yeah. Yes. And I wish we got Marchand about 4 years ago, because I love this dude now that I'm starting to figure him out. He's a fun human being.
Really amazing. He easily could have been a half-a-year rental. He could have been a guy that we never took to. He never really took to us. Teammates tolerated him. Like, you had no idea what was going to happen with Brad Marchand. Although I will tell you this, I don't think anyone could have foreseen this happening with Brad Marchand. I'll tell you a story. One of my neighbors texted me and she said, "Do you think Brad Marchand will be here next season?" And I said, I don't know. I said, my gut tells me yes. Yeah. He seems like a kind of lay it on the line kind of guy. Like, he doesn't seem like a guy, how we go through the Dwayne Wade tweets and the Jimmy Butler tweets and the James Harden tweets, and it's like, they're kind of like throwing breadcrumbs. It's like, hey, look at me, start to talk about what might happen with me. Brad Marchand just seems like the kind of guy that's like, yeah, figure out a deal to get me here because I want to stay.
Yeah, and he's politicking for other people to stay.
Right. And why would he be doing that if he was leaving?
That's what showed me something when he's doing the, he's doing the stuff, sending out the tweets, and there's no breadcrumbs. He's giving you the loaf. Hey, sign back, bro.
Right.
We need you. And you know what? I love Hall of Famers that are still playing that just act like Hall of Famers. Like, I'm great at hockey. Y'all know I'm great at hockey. Let's just have fun. That's the part I love about him. But also, I got to tell y'all about yesterday. I don't know if it's an old man moment, but I'm running the kids around. Ava has basketball. Chan's going to rehab and stuff. And I hear you and Solana talking on the radio. And for about 5 minutes, I thought it was pre-recorded. And then y'all started talking about the parade.
Did you think it was like Monday or something where you're like, yeah, am I supposed to be on with these guys?
How the hell did they know this was about to happen last week? So, I was confused. And I heard Tobin, and I was like, oh, that's right. They're at the actual parade. Then I started, it clicked to me, but I had an old man moment for about 3-4 minutes in the car.
We had a really good broadcast yesterday. Brendan Tobin's going to join us this hour because we were with him when the Kevin Durant news broke. And obviously, he follows the Heat extensively, and he did a great job with the Panthers. It was really supposed to be Tobin and Solana doing the Panthers parade. I had to drop Lori at Fort Lauderdale Airport. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to drive up US 1 from Fort Lauderdale Airport. I'm going to figure out how far north I can get before they shut it all down. And if I can get near the parade, I'll walk to the parade because I'd like to be there, and I had to drop her off in the morning anyway. And so I dropped her off and I drove up, and where that B Ocean Hotel is, which is just like a little bit south of Bahia Mar. I think more people probably know Bahia Mar. But so I was able to park at someone's house for $100. It's very neighborly of the person. I was able to park at someone's house, and then I just walked right from B Ocean, which is kind of where the party was, all the way down to Lulu's Bait Shack, where Solana and Tobin were doing the broadcast, and I just jammed my way in. I was like, hey, can I be part of this? And I had really fun. It was really fun, but yeah, I just kind of weaseled my way into their Sunday broadcast.
Y'all got me. How is this happening?
Anyway, my neighbor, so she had texted me and she said, is Marchand going to be back? And the reason was her daughter, who's been rooting for the Panthers because I used to get free stacks of tickets when they were no good. And so, the neighbors would all come. The whole neighborhood would come because no one wanted tickets. Since she was a kid, now she's in college. Huge Panthers fan. She wants a Brad Marchand jersey. But, the mom's like, hey, I'm not necessarily sure you should buy one yet. And I'm like, yeah, don't buy it yet. My gut instinct tells me, though, you'll be able to buy one with no problem.
Okay, but what if worst case scenario, he's not here? You can't still have a Marchand jersey? I enjoyed these little 2 months.
I think this is one of those seasons that you always remember, right? And he was a big catalyst towards everything. I think regardless, to have a Panthers Brad Marchand jersey, I don't think that'll ever go out of style unless he goes back to Boston, says it was a bad dream.
And then we got to hate him again.
And it's like one of those movies where it never happened.
No, we got the receipts, man. We got the receipts of him saying, thank you, Boston. We got the receipts of him smoking a cigar. He's got a spiked iced tea in one hand. He's got a coffee cup in the other hand. He's got an elbow beer tucked under his elbow. We got receipts, bro. There's no backing out of this Florida Panthers life because you hoist the cup.
I thought you were talking about me for a second because you said I had a coffee cup in my hand. I thought my video feed had gone down, and you're like, well, I see him. It looks like he's got a coffee cup in his hand.
If you did what he did in those 12 minutes of life, you might die.
No.
A roadie, a beer, an elbow beer, and a cigar.
Did you see me yesterday at the parade? There's video up. Did you see what I was drinking during the broadcast?
A damn Aperol spritz.
That's right. Yeah, let's see Brad Marchand throw down an Aperol spritz and try to do a broadcast. No, sir. That takes many years of practice to be able to do what I did yesterday.
Those pictures from the parade, I know what 3 days of no sleep looks like. Boy, they were getting after it since that game ended because they were rough looking. They were sweating, hair dirty. So, yeah, y'all had a good time.
It was fun, man. Fun as hell. Really was. So we'll talk about that today, but it was the yin and the yang. And Tobin had pointed out, it's one of the reasons I want to talk to Tobin. Tobin pointed out during the parade broadcast, was the yin and yang. You had a franchise being celebrated by their fans who've put together this run of exceptionalism over 2 seasons for sure, maybe 3, and quite possibly 4. Solana argues the President's Trophy season should be included in that. And if you do, it's 4 straight seasons. And then you've got every decision that they've made personnel-wise from the front office being a slam dunk. And while this celebration of that is going on, news is coming in that Kevin Durant is going to Houston because the Heat were unwilling to give up enough to get Kevin Durant in a Heat uni, which I'm not even so certain I wanted very badly. But I know I don't want what seems to be looming, which is running it back. You know what I'm really torn. It's why I want to get Tobin's take. I didn't hear his show today. But I wasn't in love with the thought of Kevin Durant because he is getting older and he is prone to injury and didn't make the playoffs last season. But man, if the Heat are telling me it's more important for me to watch and root for Haywood Highsmith and Khalil Ware than to get a season and who knows where it would lead with KD, that's my hang up. I trust in Pat Riley and I trust the Miami Heat, and they have delivered us more success than any franchise over what is it, Solana? Really 20 years, right? Since 06.
Next year will be 20 years.
But 20 years, yeah.
Even the year before, Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
Yeah, they've been perennially a playoff team since 2000, early 2000s, even in the 90s.
So I trust them. I'm not telling you I don't trust them. I'm just telling you. And again, I'm not a guy that was a big proponent of getting Kevin Durant because I didn't think he was going to be the answer. But if my options are Kevin Durant, let's see what happens, or Kel'el Ware, Haywood Highsmith, pick number 20, let's see what happens, I'd probably ride with KD at that point. But again, I don't get paid to make those decisions.
I mean, well, I like Solana, you just brought up the receipts because I keep handwritten notes.
Right.
And we early on with KD, we had this conversation, and I said, we're good. Tyler Bam, Kel'el Ware, Davion Mitchell, Pella Larson, Haywood Highsmith. I don't think that's an exciting team to cheer for at all. And then y'all, came back and we were talking about it, where if you're going to stay there, you might as well trade off the big names and really reset and get draft picks and all of that stuff. I am not excited to go into the season with the names I just said.
Yeah.
And the East is weak.
And
I actually heard Tobin talking about how the East, East wide open. We've talked about it. That list of humans does not make me say, let's go Heat, Pat Riley's the GOAT. It just doesn't.
And I don't know who's out there.
Jovic? What if you add Niko Jovic to that list because you didn't have that name written down? Does that change your opinion of anything?
If you Niko Jovic me this summer,
that was one of the
I'm going to kill you.
Riley refused to give up. He literally refused to give up Jovic and Phoenix wanted him. And so he's one of those guys who better deliver. Where Jovic better deliver.
I'll take it a step further. Erik Spoelstra better play those two dudes next year because okay, fine. You don't even want to dangle them in a trade. Fine for Kevin Durant, but don't tell me Niko Jovic has a short leash next year. Erik Spoelstra, don't tell me Kel'el Ware is going to get played off the floor by Thomas Bryant in the Indiana Pacers when you play them in the middle of January, which happened last year. Those guys better be playing. And Hawk, it's not even that Phoenix wanted them. Phoenix was just like, well, aren't you at least going to offer us anything else? Wiggins,
are we reading this wrong? This literally says Terry Rozier.
Terry Rozier.
What are we reading wrong?
And then two bench players. Everybody's assuming it was Haywood Highsmith and Jaime Jaquez Jr. And then the 20th overall selection. Phoenix was probably like, all right, we'll let that sit for 2 weeks, and they'll come back with Niko Jovic and Kel'el Ware. We'll get this done. And the Heat were like, no. I mean, this is our offer. Guys, the Heat didn't want Kevin Durant. Let's be honest. I mean,
well, they wanted him at a very bargain basement price because Phoenix, after what happened with Desmond Bane, Phoenix would have a very difficult time turning to their fan base and saying, we got 0 established stars and we got a late first round draft pick. And so at least with Green, it's Gerald Green, right? At least with
not Gerald Green,
Jalen
Green.
Jalen. There we go.
At least with Jalen Green, they can say to the fan base, we got a bona fide star. Yeah. This isn't a prospect. I'm kind of like with Solana where, I mean, did the Heat really want to get in this battle for KD, or was it, hey, KD maybe wants to play here. He turns the screws a little bit. We give up very little and we get to roll the dice with KD because that was not from the offers we're reading. That was not a strong offer.
That was, y'all do garage sales? Have y'all ever done a garage sale?
Yeah, I love a garage sale.
When you're like, you go up and they're selling a bike for $100 and that one dude walks up and says, I got $6.
Yeah.
And you're like, I understand negotiation, sure, but I'm asking for 100. Okay, I got 650. Like, you can't be that guy if Kevin Durant's the bicycle. And it seems like,
unless you don't really want the bicycle.
And I don't know. And that's what one of the tweets y'all sent me was like, they get involved in, it made me think, we are involved in every free agent talk, but are we just involved because we want our name involved, or we really want to get this damn bicycle from this
right?
garage
It's like the Marlins when Shohei Ohtani was looking for another team. It was like, well, I think the Marlins are involved in this in some way, shape, or form.
I got $675. Asking for 100, sir.
Hawk, maybe they did want Durant at that very low price, but the Heat, look, man, Pat Riley, Andy Ellisberg, Nick Harrison, like, they're not dumb. They know what other teams could be offering, would be offering, probably did offer. They know that that's not going to land Kevin Durant. Like,
well,
I mean, Hawk, just with what they accepted from Houston, right? Dylan Brooks is the other name in that piece. He's a starter. He's a legit NBA starter. Say what you want about Dylan Brooks. The guy's annoying as hell and borderline weird. But he's a starter, a good role player, a very good starter in the NBA. The number 10 overall pick, so a lottery pick, top 10 pick, and then a ton of second-round draft picks.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
The Heat offered one starter in Andrew Wiggins. Okay, like we all knew that would be a part of it. And then Terry Rozier, I understand what Miami's doing, but he just came off of one of the worst NBA seasons probably ever. And then two role players, which, look, man, like, I love Haywood Highsmith. We know what he is. He's not an NBA starter. He's a role player. And then Jaime Jaquez Jr., if that was the other name, which is being reported it is, he didn't show that he has the potential to be a starter in the NBA either. So, like, I'm sorry.
Backwards.
I'm sitting here and I'm saying, look, the Heat made it seem like they wanted to be in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes based on what they offered. They did not think Kevin Durant, Tyler Hero, and Bam Adebayo could A, be a contender, or B, they did not want to pay Kevin Durant $110 million over the next 2 years. They didn't want to
give up youth either. I think you were off when Jim Larinaga was on with us on Thursday. And Jim Larinaga said flat out, he goes, listen, 37-year-old for a 21-year-old, you better be absolute certain that you're in your championship window right now. Because if you are giving up a 21-year-old, which I believe Khalil Ware is, and you're getting a 37-year-old in return, it's because you think you can win a championship right now. And if Kevin Durant wasn't the difference between a championship, which I don't think he was, now for Houston, he may be. For the Heat, I'm not necessarily certain. And if that's the case, if you don't think it's a championship window, then you're probably better off hanging on to your younger talent.
But my thing, just as Solana was saying, bona fide starters, someone that is going to start the Heat roster. Look at the Heat roster. The player that's going to start on whatever team he goes to gets traded tomorrow, gets cut and picked up. It's Bam and Tyler, maybe Wiggins. Tell me if I'm wrong. The other guys on our roster are not guaranteed to go anywhere and start at anything.
Correct.
That's the problem.
But that's why they're young guys with upside. I mean, Khalil Ware, Crowder, I'm not saying he is. I don't know. We saw a small sample size. He could be. He could be. And look, you want to laugh about Niko Jovic. I swear I'm not doing shtick here. Niko Jovic has a ton of upside. I don't know if he's going to end up being a star or not. I don't know. Probably not. But he does have upside. There's a reason why the Heat aren't willing to just give him up. So, I mean, they feel like those guys could develop into surefire starters around the NBA. They better be right.
I want to make sure we have enough time with Tobin, because we'll talk about this with him, and we can talk about it all afternoon. I wanted to mention the Marlins had their Flanagan's Fest on Saturday. Great looking jerseys again, and the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, for the first time since 2017, are going to the playoffs. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Wonder what the difference was between now and 2017. Oh, I don't know. Matt Mervis, a guy who should be in the majors? Huh? Marlins? Huh? All right, let's get headlines real quick. Tobin's going to join us. Chris Whittingham's going to join us. Huge Inter-Miami FIFA Club World Cup match tonight. Headlines brought to you by Darrell Hyundai. Choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai models in inventory, like the Tucson Sonata and Palisade. And remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Darrell Hyundai.
Congrats to the Flanagan's team on putting together a fantastic Flanny's Fest at Lone Depot Park. Unfortunately, the Marlins gave you 0 runs, but who cares? Everybody.
I wonder if a home run hitter may have been able to help.
People got rib rolls.
They got shut out? They didn't get shut out, did they?
Saturday. I'm looking at the score, Hawk. 7-0
Saturday?
Atlanta Braves. Yeah. They won Friday and yesterday. 5-3 yesterday, 6-2.
They won the series.
Friday. They did, but they also played a game Saturday. They lost that game.
Didn't score any runs.
7-0, Hawk. Shut out.
Are you sure?
I
just have a tough time believing that it happened on Flanagan's day of all days. I just have it that I'm having a tough time with that.
Right. Would you like to check the score?
I'm going to.
Okay. All right. You let me know.
All right.
Let's do this. Let's do this for Mr. Flanagan.
Unless the number 0 all of a sudden has a new meaning.
Yeah. They were shut out.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks for confirming.
Well,
you didn't sound too certain, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Get it up, guys. Get it up, guys. Flanagan on 3. 1, 2, 3. That's
well, listen, you start throwing rock and rib rolls around the clubhouse a couple hours before game time. Hey, you're going to be a little sluggish yourself.
Mm-hmm.
maybe do Flanagan's Fest after the game.
Marlins are off today. They play the Giants tomorrow. They're out on the West Coast. They're in San Francisco.
Sure.
Tonight. Do you want to do the headline talk? Would you like to do them?
You done ran them hot. First segment, you done ran them hot.
Come on, that's a funny bit. So a lot of questions
hilarious.
That are like not a big deal.
Inter Miami plays tonight at Hard Rock Stadium. Final group stage game in the Club World Cup. They're playing Palmeiras from Brazil. They took over South Beach yesterday. Some really cool visuals
I just realized why Solana's upset. The two guests today, Tobin, ostensibly the Heat expert, but Solana feels he's the Heat expert, and Whittingham, ostensibly the soccer expert, and Solana feels he's the soccer expert. So he's on edge today. I just figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of booking Tobin? He's just going to literally play clips from his YouTube page, things he already recorded from earlier today.
It's a lot of you like Jordan enjoys being around LeBron. Kobe and Jordan hung out. Like, why don't you just want to be around greatness?
No, it's great. Let's bring on Chris Whittingham, known Florida Panthers hater, the day after the Florida Panthers parade. I think it's a great idea.
Leave that for a pal. I'm talking Inter Miami. How dare you? What'd you say? Marlins have a big homestand?
Panthers had their parade yesterday. Inter Miami play tonight, and the NBA Finals ended. I have never really felt this apoplectic to talk NBA Finals. I mean, I don't know about you guys,
apathetic.
But I don't know. I don't know what word I just used.
Why do you?
Not the right one. Not the right one.
What does apoplectic mean?
Like your head's gonna explode. Like I am apoplectic that
literally the
Marlins
opposite
got shut out. Yeah.
I don't know, and you don't know either. So let's stay away from it.
Apathetic, I think, is what you were looking for.
Yeah, apathetic.
The whole thing felt apathetic.
It did.
It did.
We called the Halliburton injury. The compensating for injury, we called that he was going to hurt himself bad, and he hurt his damn self bad. That was After that, the game was over.
Yeah, that was it.
It sucked. SGA wins Finals MVP, joins a select list to win MVP and Finals MVP. Your weather from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm. Call them 866-954-MORE, youraccidentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. It is a hot day in South Florida. That's your weather.
All right, we're going to check into that Marlins situation and get the actual schedule as to where they'll be.